Hello, my name's Mark and welcome to the SimHanger. The SimHanger for all things flight sim related. Don't let your flight simulation experience become boring. Don't let your interest levels drop. This new series from the SimHanger, Challenging Flights, is designed to progressively increase the adrenaline and excitement levels in your sim. This is going to be an ongoing series which I'm going to mix into my content from time to time, and it's going to be designed to test your piloting skills with a different combination of scenarios and weather patterns each time. In addition, it's going to be flyable in both Xplane and prepared, and both VR and non-VR to suit your preference. For our first challenge, which I'm going to give a difficulty rating of 5.5 out of 10, we're going to be flying from Arizona to Colorado. And our departure is going to be from Sedona. Sedona is a small non-towered airport sitting atop a 500-foot high mesa. Runway 5,200 feet long can accommodate the larger business jets and turboprops, but obviously not the Boeings. And our destination, Telluride, is the highest commercial airport in North America with scheduled passenger flights. At an elevation of 9,070 feet, sitting atop Deer Creek Mesa, high terrain in all quadrants requires pilots to be pre-certified in the Advanced Qualified program before landing here. Our flight today is going to be a non-VR flight, and we're going to be using prepared version 4.5. For both Sedona and Telluride scenery, I'm using ORBX, and the weather's through Active Sky for prepared. To make things a little bit more interesting, we're going to set up some custom weather areas in Active Sky. First of all, go to WX Control and click on Switch to Custom Weather. Go back to your flight plan and just check that Custom Static Mode is enabled at the top. Our route today, we're going to go via the Oates departure to Winslow, then on to the Rattlesnake VOR, then on to Cones, before doing a final approach. My flight plan is now in. Once the flight plan is completed, go to Map, and we're going to choose Sedona and right-click and choose Add New Custom Weather Area. Make sure it's set to manual, and now we can set up various parameters. I'm putting the wind in at 210 because we're departing runway 21, and I'm going to put a bit of wind gusting there at 15. We can set the surface temperature. I'm just going to bring that down a little bit, let's say 15. Keep the humidity at about 50% or thereabouts. That looks right. Surface visibility, well, for the departure, I think we'll just increase that a little bit. I think, I don't know, something around 40 thereabouts. I think 38.7 will be fine. Altimeter setting 30.17. I'm not going to have rain today, but certainly I'm going to add clouds. We can choose the type of cloud, the base for the cloud. I'm going to choose around about 14,000. We're going to be 13.6 should be fine. We're cruising today at 19,000 and increase the depth to 3,000. You can vary the type of cloud, the type of coverage of the cloud, and the turbulence levels. Yep, that'll be good enough for this. Now also we can change the turbulence at various different altitudes. So I've chosen at 6,000 light, 9,000, I think we'll change that, moderate, and so on. These are the settings that I finished up on. Bit of moderate turbulence before becoming light again. Then set the area in nautical miles for the area that you want the custom weather, and that now is it. It gives us a summary of what we've set. Click on OK. And we can get a graphical representation of the custom weather area on the map in that grayed elliptical area there. Now let's set some custom weather for our arrival at Telluride. Same process again. I'm not going to run through it, but here's a summary. Variable wind from 147 to 152. The only runway you can land at is 09, so a bit of a crosswind there and lower cloud. And our weather areas just nicely overlap. For this challenge you can choose any craft that takes your fancy. Bear in mind Boeings will not get into Telluride. I've chosen Coronado's SAAB 340. It's one of the larger aircraft that can get in there. Passengers are on board and time to close the doors and let's get on our way. We're halfway through our preparations for departure.
TAS, system test OK.
As we're departing runway 21, it's the OTS 1 departure from Sedona. I'm using the GTN 750 today in the Coronado. Let's put that in OTS, that's right. And now I want to load the Victor 12 airway. There it is. And I want that to take me to Winslow. There we are, Winslow. Let's load that. And now I want to go to Rattlesnake and I need the Victor 95 airway. There it is. And then to Rattlesnake, Romeo Sierra Kilo. That's the VOR, there it is. We'll put that in. That looks right. We'll load that. And now I'm looking for the Victor 187 airway to take me to the intersection Havre. There's 187. Where are you? There you are. We'll load that. The rest I can use for the approach, so we'll just put in Kilo Tango Echo X-ray, which is Telluride. And there we are, flight plan is done. That's a summary of the flight plan, and our route should take us about an hour and 10 minutes, which is pretty typical for a turboprop like the SAAB 340. Now let's listen to ATIS. And it should be as per the custom weather area that we put in earlier.
Kilo Sierra Echo Zulu Airport Information Foxtrot 1242 Zulu Weather Wind 200 at 8 gusting to 15 Visibility 10 Sky Condition 8700 Scattered Temperature 15 Dew Point 4 Altimeter 3017 Advice on Initial Contact. You have information Foxtrot.
That sounded correct. Active sky will vary the weather slightly. Right, let's get this bird started and let's get away. Starting the right engine first. Just check that it's spooling up, which it is. That all looks right. Now fuel to the left engine and let's get that started. And there we go. I'm going to set flaps at 15 as the runway is only 5,200 feet long. Complete our procedures and then let's taxi to runway 21. Preparations for departure. We've announced our departure on Unicom as this is a non-towered airport. We've loaded our departure and I'll leave you now for a minute and enjoy the takeoff. Gear up and last stage of flaps away, yaw damper on and autopilot on, and now setting up for the climb. Just going to pull back on the condition levers a little bit, and now to clean up the cockpit with the after takeoff checklist. Seatbelt off, landing lights off, auto course. Prop sync is set. Just climbing above 11,000 feet at the moment. And the autopilot is set to climb, so it should maintain around about 140 on the way up to our cruise altitude of 19,000. We're approaching our cruise altitude now, 19,000 feet. I've set the altimeter back to standard, 29.92. Just keeping an eye. Here we go, coming up on 19,000. Speed's looking okay. And there we go. We can just put in the autopilot and it will now hold at 19,000, and we're just coming up and passing the oats, so our initial standard instrument departure is over and we're fairly close to where we took off from actually, and we're on our way. We've planned in an alternative, Hopkins Field, Kilo Alpha India Bravo, in case we can't get into the airfield. I believe during winter especially up to 20% of flights coming into Telluride can be diverted. We've just passed Rattlesnake and started our descent. By the time we get to Havwu, we need to be at 12,000.
Kilo Tango Echo X-ray Airport Information Hotel 1242 Zulu Weather Wind 141 at 11 gusting to 20 visibility 10 sky condition ceiling 4,800 broken temperature 11 dew point 0 altimeter 3045 advise on initial contact you have information hotel.
Now that we've got ATIS for Telluride, time to start planning our approach. We're coming in on runway 09. Runway 27 is for departures only because of the high terrain surrounding the airport. There are a number of RNAV approaches, but I'm going to use the more difficult localizer 109.3 approach. I'm going to fly to cones and then intercept the localizer and then switch to for a manual approach to runway 09. I'm now past the cones VOR and descending to 11,500 feet, and I need to be at that altitude by Zabgu. From Zabgu is where the fun really starts, because the descent is at 4 degrees as opposed to the normal 2.5 or 3 degree approach, and it can be difficult to get down. Thus the special qualification required by pilots to land at Telluride. The localizer is lateral direction only. There's no vertical indication and therefore no glide path indicated on the approach. Some low cloud, but we should be clearing that any minute now. I've got some flaps in, gear is down, and I now need to start descending to that 11,500 feet. Here we go. Just catching the first glimpse of the airport just across the valley on top of that high ridge. Autopilot off. I'm now switching to manual mode, and there's the runway in front of us. I'm just a little bit to the right of it. I just need to make a correction. I'm at 11,700 feet and I should be below 11,500. I can see the PAPI lights there and I'm a little bit high. Telluride Airport sits on top of the mesa there, 1,000 feet above the valley floor. Still too high and I need to slow down a little bit. Last stage of flaps coming in due to the 9,000 foot elevation of the airport. I need to land a little bit faster than normal, but I should be landing around the 120 mark. This crosswind keeps pushing me to the right. I need to slow down, I'm still far too high. Due to the undulating terrain in the area, you cannot go by the altitude warnings given out. In the real world, I suppose I should be going for a missed approach about now, but I know the runway is over 7,000 feet long, so I'm going to go in for a long landing.
Sync rate 500.
You might want to tighten those seat belts about now.
500, 300. Sync rate. Sync 100. Rate. 50. 30. 20. 10.
A little bit long, but we are down. Reverses in to help with the slow down, and then at 60 knots manual braking. You can stop gripping the armrests now and relax. Off the runway, we're now going to clean up the cockpit. Landing lights off, taxi lights on and strobes off, auto course off, seat-top off, flaps away, and we can pull back the condition levers to idle. Looking fairly busy there. Let's hope we can get a parking. Well, I know exactly what you're thinking. Yes, exactly. Not the best landing in the world. Well, I have to agree with you. It was certainly not the best. But I encourage you to give it a go and see if you can do better. I'm sure you can. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon, and bye for now.